you really want to be careful to not go too small on the font. I would say, well, first of all, let's talk about body text font, especially when we're talking about novels or lengthy books. That's not where you want to get creative with typography. Get creative with chapter headings. Get creative with the drop caps, that first big letter at the beginning of every chapter. That's where you can get creative. At the end of the day, when it comes to actual body text, keep it simple. Keep it legible. That's rule number one. And that is a rule that not all authors follow. I think sometimes people get tempted. They want to be creative. They want their book to look unique, but you want people to be able to read it as well. And so I would say really think about legibility and also think about spacing between the lines. I think that also helps in legibility. Make sure the lines breathe. I mean, this very large print, there are books that are purposely made with larger print. For instance, for early readers, to get children to first get into chapter books, they want to feel like they're accomplishing something by reading a bigger book. That I can understand. There's also a whole market of perhaps older people or people with compromised eyesight for whom big font, but I don't know about that really big font. We've never produced a book with that huge a font. So that's interesting. So I would just say legibility, number one, and allowing breathing space between the lines, number two. And some authors, I think maybe what might have happened is some authors are afraid of their book being too long. So maybe they opt for a smaller font so they can pack more words in. But then what happens is what you just said. Oh my gosh, it's such a task to read this book. And you don't want people to feel that way. So yeah. And it's interesting, even with children's literature, I find that too. Sometimes people think, oh, it's a kid's book. We can get so creative and pick the craziest, wildest font. And no, you want parents to be happy to read this book at the end of a long day with their children. So legibility is really important.